Welcome back to Coaching Tutors. My name is Amzat Abiblan. In this video, we will be completing our form development. Last time we developed form using the HTML, and you could remember that the form wasn't like this. I've kind of did some things to it, and I would like to share that with you in a few seconds. Now, actually, this is Visual Studio Code. I actually love using Visual Studio Code for front-end development. It gives this IntelliSense stuff, which actually make it easier for one to easily go through. So most of the time, it makes it easy for me to quickly complete task. Now, and I have opened inside my project file, the IApp project file, inside the web page. The web page is the folder that consists all your web coding, in the exception of the Java coding, talking about your web files, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and some meta informations too, which is contained in the meta INF. Then I always told you, or let's say I've told you earlier, that your index.html should be in your web page. I mean, your HTML files should be in your web page. You don't necessarily have to create a folder for that, but for organization purpose, you need a separate folder inside your web page for CSS and for your JavaScript file. So I've created a folder for CSS, and you can see address.css. This folder is going, this CSS file is going to be used in the address. So I actually love using VS Code for the front end part. So I've opened those two files using VS Code. And if you actually go through this, kind of make the code more intelligent. I've added fixed tag and the legend tag inside the form tag in order to give this effect, this border type effect. It's a cool work. Then I also, inside the CSS, I've added some rules, and I've made my body to have the background of width, as you can see, and also I have added some rules to this section tag, which I've given an ID of form. So I've added some rules to it, which actually made the whole form to be centralized. Now if you click on submit, you will have this 404 error, which simply means not found. Now, in order to solve this, why is this first? The problem is that your form is not being able to successfully run a backend program which is linked to it. So that backend program or backend Java file said to be linked to the form doesn't exist yet. So it's going to say 404 not found. So, and how do I fix that? I'll have to come here now. Okay, first, before we go there, take note of this part. My post and my action. Now I have said my form as post. This is more secured, so that user will not be able to have the values entered into this form in the URL section. So that's why I'm using post. Otherwise, if I'm using if I'm not using post, if I'm using get, you will be able to fetch those values that are being entered there. And so I'm using post, as you can see, and my action, which is address. This action attribute is a form attribute, is a form tag attribute that we used to describe, we used to tell what is going to process that particular form at the back end. So that's the action. So I will now come here again, and let me come to my NetBeans. I love it. So I'm going to come to my source package, and inside this place I'll quickly create another servlet. So I'll call that address, address, and that is inside my Java com. Okay, okay, it's where it should be. It's where it should be. Okay, so I'm going to next to servlet, and please pay attention to this section. Set this by default. The servlet name is address, and the URL pattern is also address. I'm going to love to use the web.xml file, which is deployment description file, instead of using annotation. Then I'll click on finish. Now, okay, it's processing. Let's pause and wait for it. Yeah, welcome back. Now the address.java, which is a servlet class, has been created. Now I'm going to do some cleanup. I'm going to clean up some comments so as to make the code short as much as possible. Okay. Okay. Now we'll clean up some unwanted comments. So now what next is to go to my web.xml file, because I really need to be sure that the mapping has been done appropriately. It's ought to have done it automatically. So okay, now I have my servlet name. Now you now see we have two servlet tag. One was for the demo, and now I also have it for my address servlet, and now it's set to be in this package, the same package in which I put my demo. It's not necessary, but that's the way I want it. Now I have my URL pattern as address. Now if I come here, if I click on save and come back to my web page and then refresh, okay, click on submit. Let's see, it says 404 not found. Now let's come here, let's remove this. Now I believe it should work now. Okay, go back, submit. Yeah, welcome back. Now we were trying to solve an issue before I figured that out. Now and the issue was that when we clicked on this submit, it was expected to go to open the servlet, to initiate the servlet address. However, it didn't. It was saying 404 not found. So right now I discovered that I made a mistake somewhere here. I should put /i_app/address. The main reason is that if we go back to this, let's just put /address, because action is actually the value of action should actually be the URL of the server side program we want to use to process the form. So if I say /address, this is what it was giving instead. So it was giving no, let me redeploy in order to effect that change. Let me quickly redeploy to reflect the new change. So to redeploy, I just click on this. It's not going to restart the server again, because the server is already started. However, it's going to redeploy the application on the server. Can you see? It will undeploy the first one, then redeploy again. It had already deployed, and now it's deploying. Deployment is in process. Now if it's successful, it's going to tell me okay. So now if I come here now, I will have an issue. Okay, and okay, let me restart this, and the issue is this 404 not found. Now the main reason is that it's calling this action address, it's calling this action, it's calling it on the local host directly, and that is not the way our app was designed. That's not the way our app was designed. Our app was actually designed to be called on iApp. It has to call it on the app, then slash, then we can then have access to the servlet. So now, in order to effect that, I'll come back and I'll put slash iApp. So now I'll save. Then once I save that file, I'll come back to the form, restart the form. Hopefully it worked now. Okay, it only need time to deploy. It takes some seconds before it actually make it happen. Okay, it should effect this now. So let's just redeploy and okay, come on, netbean. Oh god. So let me quickly redeploy again. This is what, can you see, suspended, checking for external changes. This is what is actually delaying us. It has not affected the change we made. So let's just assist it by redeploying once and for all. Okay, so let me come here again, refresh, and let me submit. Okay, now it has taken effect. So it has actually called this address, this whole thing, upon 8080. And mind you, the last one is the URL pattern, which was specified in the web.xml. Is specified as /address. It is not calling this address, it's not calling the class name, it's rather calling the URL pattern. If this URL pattern is not addressed, then the URL pattern should be consequently be whatever it is here. But I love being consistent so that I don't make mistake, and it makes it more easier for me to organize my work and to always remember what I use, because for a particular file, so it makes it easy for me to always make the URL pattern the same thing as the file name. So now we have it. We are able to communicate now to our server by actually submitting the form, but it's not doing anything now. It's just telling me servlet address at the context part. So it's not really doing anything now. So let's make it do something. So let's come to our netbean and let's make it do something. So firstly, I want to validate. If everything from this form are the way I want it. None of this form are left null. So I can do this at the front end using JavaScript. I can even use a particular form attributes for all these inputs that can actually ensure that it's validated. Let's say now validate. Okay, sorry, I think that attribute is validate. Am I right? Okay, it's not validate. It's not validate. I can't remember right now. So however, there is an attribute for that, but we can also do it as the server side. So I don't want to assume my front-end developer did that, so I would just like to confirm at my server side myself. So I'll simply come down here, create a method to validate. I'll just come down here, create a method to validate, and I'll make it private since I only want to use it in this class. Private, and I want to make it return boolean if it actually validates well or not. Okay, let it return void. It's just a method to execute. Let it return void. It's not doing anything. So validate. So it's not actually doing anything for me. It's not returning anything. It's just to execute some logics. So I will say if and mind you, it should take, because I actually want to validate what was attached to my request. So I need to actually have access to request object. So I have to say http request, http servlet request servlet request. Okay, let's just copy everything here. I'm a lazy person, so let's just copy all this here. Okay, come on, don't hang on me. Okay, exactly the way I want it. So I can say if, then sorry, that's my keyboard is doing somehow. If, then let me put my condition. If my request object dot get parameter, then I have to pass the string. And what parameter did I actually want to get? Let me come here. Now I want to get out of my f name, so my f first name, and so I can say this. Now okay, it has to be a string, yeah, equals okay, does not equals null, okay, let me say dot length, the length of it, dot length process on time. Okay, dot length. Now it does not equal 0, okay. Now it should be one here, so you guys should stop disturbing my life, and so it's a good close now. So now if my request dot get parameter f name does not equal 0, now this get parameter actually make it possible, it's a method that makes it possible for me to actually get the value of this input form with the name f name. So if that value length does not equal 0, then I want to say something, but I'm not going there right now. So then I will just say, okay, because I still have a lot of name. I have first name, last name, and middle name. I'll do that for middle name, and also and then my request parameter. So this is the lazy part. Okay, thank you. And then thank you. That's the lazy part. So okay, mind you, can you see? I'm not a good copycat, so I actually need something out. Here. So actually, rather than making it very long like this, there is another shorter way of writing it. You must have probably guessed that. So I can say my this, come here, so, and I can simply come here, first name, my middle name. I think I have middle name too, okay, because I want to validate for all names. So I can easily say, oh come on, I can easily say middle name too, okay, I can easily say middle name. So now, okay, so if all these things are correct, so I actually want to print out something. Oh god, I want to print out something, and if I'm printing out something, I'll need the out.print, and the out.print is already an object within this try scope. Okay, I can then do something better than that. In fact, to make things shorter, I might not necessarily have to use this validate method. I can validate it directly inside, because I actually want to print out I want to print out to the client. I want to print out to the client within the body. I want to print out to the client within the body, and so it's going to be better I just, and I can only have access to the out of the print writer object, which is out within the triscope. So it's just better I write my logic within the triscope. So because I want to print out, I mean, I'm not printing out, I just want to do some things. I could create a different method for it. So now within my body I've actually done this, and I can actually now say, okay, if that is the case, because I actually want to see this block now, and this one too should be well formatted. If that is the case, then you can simply just give me something cool. You can just give me this. Well, mind you, I'm not using body. You can just give me this. Just give me an header tag. Give me header tag, something like 2, and header tag 2, and really you have to tell me this, that okay, header tag 2 closed. So really you have to tell me something. I want to tell the client that please fill the please ensure none of the name field are left blank. Please ensure none of the name field are left blank, and of course it has to be string, and so that's the one reason why I would put it inside the string stuff, and concatenate with plus. So that's why plus is, and this has to be string again. Actually, really, I love using JSP than using this method, using this approach. Now, so it's going to tell me this, please this, and I actually want it to go back to, the form. So out dot okay, before doing that, let's get it out first. So if this is all what it can do, so let me come here, let me refresh, and let me kind of leave some things blank, and let me submit. So I'm expecting it to say something, and it's not saying that thing yet because it has not yet been deployed. So it does not yet populate, so it hasn't populated yet. That's the main reason it does not populate yet. So let me quickly redeploy it. I'm still deploying. Okay. Actually want to go to the address form, address.html. Okay, membership solid. Why? I'm still having blank stuff, so that shouldn't be. Oh, wait a moment. Yeah, we were having blank page then, and it was because of my logic. So my logic was saying if it is not equals to 0, and an empty field of course will be equals to 0, so it should be equals to 0, and I was using AND operand instead of OR operand, so that any one of the field can be tested to give a true, and this line of block will be executed. So please ensure that none of the name field are left blank. So I can then come here and kind of execute that form again. So I can just refresh the whole thing, and I can refresh this page and click on this. So can you see it's yet to populate, it's yet to effect. It delays before it kind of reaches, so I have to redeploy. So let me quickly redeploy so that my correction can be effective. And deploying. Okay, started application on contest part, so careless on whatever part you are starting it. Well, careless. So some guys will be deployed for me. So now let's come back, let's submit. I should have it. So please ensure that none of the name field are left blank. It's already saying that. Okay, so now please ensure none of the name field are left blank. Deploying is still in process. Why? I thought I had already deployed. Something is delaying that. Okay. Okay, please ensure none of the name are left blank. So now I'm going to pause the tutorial here, and I'll quickly have a nap. So I'm coming back. Yeah, welcome back. I want to make this thing more easier rather than making this whole code quite long. So I want to get all the parameters first, then before I start using them, so that I can easily return them back to the front end in case they are not correct after verification. So I would just take my HTTP request and response because I actually need it in this method. I need object of my HTTP request and method, so I can say my control copy flim parameter can actually be gotten as response. Okay, control X f name, so that'll be my FL. So I would quickly do that for middle name, and that will be my middle name. My first name, I will quickly do that for name. No, that's wrong. It should be M. It should be M. F middle name. So this should be M and name, and this should be M2. So I will quickly do it again for first name, middle name. I think I have it as first name, last name, first name, middle name, and last name. Okay, I will quickly do that for first name. Now come here to make it first name. Make it first name. Okay, it's name. Stop making the same mistake. It's name. So I will quickly do that for F address. So that will be request dot get parameter into bracket F address. So f email equals to request dot get parameter para parameter, then that should be f email, and date, f date should equals to request dot get parameter, okay, request dot get parameter f date parameter, so f date too. So I think we're cool this way. Then I can easily come here and say, rather than all this story, I could say, okay, I could say here, if f first name, why are you ending f first name, and come here again and say, instead of all this lengthy one, I can say f last name, and I can say f middle name, so it's cool like that, f middle name. And instead of all these lengthy one, I can say f address, address, I guess, f address, okay. I can say f address. So, and it should be clear that I have to call my get parameter. Before making use of those things, otherwise it's going to give me null. So I have to call my f parameter. So I have to call my get parameter, first, get parameter. So I have to give it request and response object, straight away. So okay, it's parameters instead. Okay, so that's cool. Now I quickly created a method to fetch all the parameters into a private variable in the class. Then it makes it easier for me to reference. So now if all this is not correct, then I don't only want you to tell me that please ensure none of the name field are left blank. I actually want to also send responses and to ensure that what was filled wasn't lost. So I will just say, because I wouldn't know if my front-end developer had written a program such that if submit button is being pressed, everything just gets cleared. So I have to be able to return what was sent. Yeah, I have to be able to return what was sent back to the client. So sorry. So now if out.print this and this and that, okay, now I want to get it back coming. Okay, I have added something out.print this, and please take note of this thing, escape stuff. So it's because if you don't put it here, it's going to take this double column as the closing double column for this, which is not, so that's why it's needed. So now I can easily come here, and if I click submit, if something is not right, it tells me to go back to form. and I can easily go back to my membership form. You should also note here that I'm not using relative. The kind of URL I'm using, I kind of write it completely. So absolutely. So uh, if I say first name Amzat, last name his first name Abidulai, last name Amzat, middle name Adewale. Okay, Adewale. Then address, plot, this and that, plot 7. Okay, I'm not going to put address just for testing purpose. I could click on submit, and it's going to tell me that I should enter my address, and I can go back and everything I have written earlier I lost, and that means I have to start again. So we have to do it in such a way that if someone clicks submit and if there's error and the person has to go back to the form, it's going to have what filled in there back. So that will be our next task. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time.